And moving right along, ladies and gentlemen, we got some more Castlevania craziness for ourselves today. When we last left off, the loss of the video game name. Essentially, it used to be, you know, when we would go to a game store, if it had a name on there, you knew it would be good. And now that's gone. That is just so gone, it's not even funny. Now, what's interesting is there is a pretty funny variant to that now. And that variant is, of course, game companies that you know are going to get are going to create super popular games, but to gamers such as myself, all those games are really, really generic. For example, you know that Bethesda is not going to create a bad game. The likelihood of them creating a bad game is very slim. The game they're going to create is probably going to be really generic. God damn it, I knew he was down there. The game they create is probably going to be really generic now, but you know what? You know it's not going to be broken. And that's kind of the thing. Like, we know a lot of these companies are going to create absolutely adequate games that will only not appeal to hardcore classic gamers, such as myself. And the thing is, if you like Fallout 4, there's no problem with that. I'm not going to be one of those snobs like, you clearly do not know video games, but like, you know, Fallout 4, to me, just wasn't as good as Fallout New Vegas or even Fallout 3. But the thing is, it's not a bad game. It's perfectly functional. It could even be considered fun if you were into that sort of thing. It could be. It's a perfectly serviceable game. And of course, we got another skip because the computer loves me. But like, you know, when it comes to games from EA, and I'll give them a hard time all the time. But you got games from EA, you got games, and once again, every piece of music in this game is absolutely just amazing. It's like, there's probably some music in this game that isn't very good, but pretty much, as you play through this game, it's just a feast for the ears, as it is for the eyes as well. Like EA, once again, the likelihood of them putting out a game that is completely broken or bad in any way is very slim. And the only reason why it is, it's going to be generic, it's going to be insulting, it's going to be, you know, lacking in any real substance or depth. But at the same time, it's not going to be utterly terrible. Like with Battlefield 1. It's not an utterly terrible game. But what it is it's just really lame, is the best way to call it. Because in Battlefield 1, you of course just play as... like Battlefield 1, I think, is more about the multiplayer. That's why I don't understand why they don't just release them as multiplayer only, because the campaigns aren't very good. Because, like... Actually, let's go back. I know there's a save room around here. But, like, with Battlefield 1, the campaign is utterly generic. A lot of the times it doesn't make any sense, like putting on pseudo armor and wandering around with a, well, it looks like an MG42 and likely didn't exist back in World War I. But you know what? Okay, that's, if you had a or diesel punk, I should say, World War I game, that'd fit right in, and that'd be cool. And you know what? Let's say you don't know anything about history, okay? Let's say you've never read a book in your life, and you think World War I was fought with mutant dinosaurs. That's actually a real book. I haven't read it, but I do know it exists. Let's say World War I was fought with mutant dinosaurs. Let's go up here because it'll trigger a new cutscene. Let's say, and all you thought was it was fought with mutant dinosaurs. Okay. Or better yet, you thought Hitler existed in World War I as a major leader. He didn't. He was actually, from what I read, he wasn't actually a corporal. He was actually sort of like a private first class kind of guy.
Wait a minute.
Ah, here she is.
You seem human, and yet, what do you here?
That literally makes no sense, but whatever.
Destroy this castle.
Just the castle.
Then
Dracula
we
gets
have
a tail
the same purpose. I'll trust you for now. I'm Maria. Who are you?
Alucard.
Not the talkative type, I can see. Well, perhaps we'll meet again, if you live that long.
Oh yeah, because you're really gonna survive dressed up like Cammy from Street Fighter. But here's the interesting thing about this game, though: the voice acting, while not bad, still is just it's kind of hard to explain. The story and writing in this game is actually pretty good, but the bad voice acting, or the questionable voice acting, just makes it that much better. I don't know, maybe I'm just weird like that. One thing I do like about Japanese games in many respects is the fact they actually use different names from the name pool. It's like they actually know that, you know, in America we have more names than just like Alec or Alex. You know, like, you notice you actually see different names in Japanese games. It'd be very rare to see somebody named Maria in anything, you know? And I just find that quite amusing, to say the least. It's like, there are more names than the names you normally see in like American games and movies. Although, back in the day you used to see more advanced names. Really, when it comes to it, Hollywood and games in general these days have definitely become very, very generic. And that's what we were discussing just a moment ago. About how, you know, EA's gonna make a good generic product, nothing too questionable, because they have 18 different focus groups they go through, and they, of course, have to have a massive, bloody, well, I don't know if they're highly paid or not, a massive, bloody development team. And with that, you know, it's very hard to leave a lot of those mistakes. And yet there still are mistakes, but at the same time, it's not completely broken. Same way with Activision. You know, Kabadoobie, Infinite Warfare, it's like, you gotta love them. And once again, I'm not trying to sound like an asshole here, even though I am. You know, it's like, okay, what you got with Kabadoobie's Infinite Warfares is, you've got a game that at any other time would be considered, you know, pretty good. By which I mean, it's, okay, you got, now I haven't played it, but I'm pretty sure it's gonna be pretty much like the other Kabadoobies. Hey, we got a shield. Sweet. Da-da-da-da-do. Okay, let's equip that. And it is 2 defense. Sweet. I like how it actually looks differently. It's a purple shield. It's royal purpleness. But yeah, where was I? Yeah, Kabadoobie is probably considered the greatest game ever, blah 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 blah, because it's got, you know, spaceships in it. Even though we've had sci-fi shooters for literally decades. In fact, the legendary Doom is of course a sci-fi shooter, but whatever. It's gonna be considered the greatest game ever, even though it's horribly generic. Once again, I could be wrong, but I got a pretty good... I bet it's a safe... It's pretty much going to be a safe bet that it's not going to reinvent the franchise. Oh shit. Hey, you didn't actually hit. Trying to... Allow me to remember the controls. Just throw the daggers at that motherfucker. Now, this is actually a really weird enemy, I think. We're at least going to encounter what I think is a weird enemy. Let's see, where is that? Yeah, it's like... It's some sort of weird beast kind of thing with like a half-naked woman as a tail. It's like, you wouldn't see this shit today. You know, you really wouldn't. And that's just one of the problems. Like, there's such a lack of imagination today. I know I complain about this, but every time I play one of these PlayStation games, it's like, why can't we get more stuff like this? You know, you've got the graphical technology to do all sorts of things. Look at the back. Look at the back. There's an eyeball staring at us. Holy shit, ladies and gentlemen, is that scary? But, you know, it's like, these games were able to do so much more with such lesser graphical technologies. You know, because they had imagination, and we need... Oh, come on. Oh, she's using leech seed on us. No! Let's use my fucking shield, because I don't want to go all the way back. Oh, come on. Come on! I think we're gonna die, and we died. But still, though, look at how, you know, original a lot of these ideas are. Look at how they were able to do so much just with 2D, and they were really able to make those sprites really very expressive, which is an amazing concept all around. And I think, you know, I think the modern day gaming industry, the companies that have survived throughout the years, have become very complacent. Which I imagine there's going to be another video game crash, or there might not be, you never know. They might just be able to perpetuate such generic crap on into perpetuity, but you get the idea, ladies and gentlemen. A lot of this stuff is very generic. One thing that's kind of sad, it's one thing I actually did when I did some minor amount of research on gaming in general, and that was the fact that a lot of these, you know, gaming companies that made a lot of these really unique and original games all kind of went out of business around the same time. I think it was around 2005 is when they all kind of just collapsed, and pretty much all that was left was, you know, you had your Ubisoft, you had your EAs, you had Activision, you had all of that. They still existed, but a lot of these smaller ones just were kind of forced out of the industry. And since that happened...
Wait a moment.
Oh, we gotta go through the bloody cutscene again.
You seem human, and yet...
Yes,
what
and yet...
do you here?
What do you hear? I hear an
I've
idiot.
come
I mean,
to destroy this
that's
castle.
not friendly. Probably
Then we
sexist.
have the same purpose. I'll trust you for now.
Oh, why would you
I'm
trust
Maria.
him? Trust him with
Who
what?
are you?
You're not even helping me out.
Alucard.
I do like how he said
Not the
Alucard, though.
talkative type, I can see. Well, perhaps we'll meet
And see, look,
again.
look at how
If
expressive
you
those
live
sprites
that
are.
long.
And that's just a sprite,
Farewell.
you know? That's one of the big problems. I still think 2D just works in some respects better than 3D. If 3D is done bad, it looks like shit. But 2D, whereas 2D can still look better than 3D in some respects. Once again, I could just be a complete madman. We're gonna get to the next save point, and we'll call it a day. But, you know, once all the, you know, middle-of-the-road guys were gone, you know, we really saw how games just became super, super generic. And it's sad. EA used to be really cool. At least I felt they were. You know, you had EA games, challenge everything. Now, are these games a challenge? Absolutely not. Got regenerative health galore. I actually have seen gameplay footage of that Space Marine moment in Battlefield 1 where, like, literally you heal faster than they can hurt you. It's like, come on! You know, and the other big problem I think we also have seen is the loss of modding in some respects. Well, in just about every respect. Like, these big games used to get mods for them. Now, they don't want you to mod anything because they want it all to be DLC. And half the time, they don't even goddamn make! You know? Like, you look at all the original, you know, multiplayer first-person shooters. Hell, you know, I almost said Serious Shock for some reason. Like, you look at, come on, throw me a fucking bone. Throw me a frickin' bone here! There's what fucking sharks with laser beams on their heads. Let's see, where was I? Yeah, you like fucking Counter-Strike, a game that is extraordinarily popular, started out as a mod for Half-Life 2, or no, Half-Life 1, I should say. And it's like, you wouldn't see that with like Kabadoobies. Although there is a Kabadoobie mod for Kabadoobie 4, I think, and that is a Star Wars mod. Although I've never played it. And there's like some mods for Call of Duty 2, and likely some for 1, although I haven't seen any. Back to Front is a great mod for Call of Duty 2. Let's see if there's a save room over here. We didn't go down here. Oh, there isn't. It's just a table. Like, come on, it's a fucking table attacking us. You would never see that today. Because it wouldn't be serious enough. Or the table would like have a skull on it or something. Skull table. But, you know, it's like, they don't want modding. Because, like, let's look at Duke Nukem Forever. There's no mod for that. They didn't release any modding tools because they wanted, you know, DLCs that were actually better than the base game. See, is that terminal? Come on. Oh, goddammit. We're gonna die again. And of course, I just go immediately into his jaws because that makes sense. And we still got 39 health. We should make it. I remember this being pretty good at difficult when I was just quick saving all the time. You see, like, if we hide down here, we should be able to take most of that flame. Oh, of course, when I don't have my shield facing her, that probably won't help. Screw it. Fucking do it. Sweet, level up again. And look, and one thing I find funny, okay, that was a little bit of bare ass. You would never have that today. Because that would be considered sexist, probably misogynist. Somehow they'd probably work racism into that somehow. Probably xenophobic too. I don't know how that would be xenophobic, but then again, since when do these people ever use, you know, logic? Even though they don't use any logic, yet the entire time they're trying to say, it is perfectly logical. Watch out for the fucking... Use your little weird stone thing. Come on. That's some good sound effects for that, Oh, come on. Come on! Remember this being that difficult when I was playing it earlier. I blame you guys. You're distracting me. Fucking Little Shop of Horrors creature. Although I've never seen that movie, I just am aware of what it's supposed to look like. It's like, these days a lot of these movies have gotten kind of a mimetic status. Mimetic stuff kind of annoys me now, because a lot of this stuff doesn't really deserve, like, the popularity it gets, but we just kind of regurgitate it. Let's see, what did I grab? Oh, I got an axe. Sweet. Do. Okay, we made it. Not really sure what this room is supposed to be here. I guess that's where it would load if, like, this was on the PlayStation 1. Okay, now we gotta find the, right, we're actually in the same area where I was in my initial playthrough. Well, not my initial playthrough, but my new playthrough. Okay, let's see here. I think it was over here. Caught back up with myself. Oh yeah, we gotta fight the fucking knights here. No, jump over it! Ah! Shit! God damn it! Well, ladies and gentlemen, in the next episode we will try to get back to where we were, but for now, I am GeneralLotz, wishing you good Castlevania Symphony of the Night, or whatever makes you happy.